welcome to day 56 of Grace Changes Everything, and I've entitled today Be the Difference. And I want to start with looking at Romans chapter 12 verse 3. For through the grace given to me I say to every man among you not to think more highly of himself than he ought to think, but to think so as to have sound judgment, as God has allotted to each the measure of faith. At the bottom of our garden are some playing fields. There's a school and there's a church building. And the school and church are all on the same site, and they're protected by some pretty solid looking gates when you try and go there. And each day we see the kids getting shipped into school, and we see them getting shipped away again at night in their parents' cars. And once or twice a week, a lot of cars turn up. You see a lot of headlights in winter, and we see people filing into the church and filing out of the church and disappearing in their cars again. And I often wonder what the people are like. And you see, occasionally what happens is the kids kick their ball into our garden, and they come to ask for it, and they're very grateful and respectful when they retrieve it. They're nice kids. But I'm sure you've probably heard this phrase, they keep themselves to themselves. And that is what these families do that are involved in this church and school. They separate themselves from others. They keep themselves completely separate. I have no idea what happens in their meetings, since someone who isn't from their community can't just turn up and go along to one. You actually have to make an appointment, and it says on the gate, our meetings are available by appointment for those who are suitably disposed to the gospel, to have the gospel preached to them. And one of the things that does happen is occasionally, once or twice a year, they erect a big tent on the playing fields. And I think it's probably for prize giving or school plays or sports day or something like that. And we can hear the PA from our house. And what we do is occasionally we hear the kids giving testimony of their gratitude to their parents for separating them from the world, not mixing with anything of the corrupt society around them, and living a separated community where they don't have to mix with outsiders. And in one sense, I get it. Sometimes I don't want anything to do with the world. Sometimes I don't want to mix with the world. And sometimes the world has a bad effect on me. But in another sense, I don't understand it at all. It's not a picture of what Jesus did. And cutting ourselves off from the world is not the type of being different he calls us to. You see, with grace operating in our lives, we will be different. But that difference is so that we can make a difference. We're made different so we can make a difference. Grace in us is contagious, it's attractive, it softens the heart of others and shows the heart of the Father to a lost and hurting world, to a fractured world. And the world needs to see the difference that grace makes in our lives in order that it can receive the gospel of grace through faith in its own life. And what it needs to see is the difference in us. We need to be different, but also to be the difference to others. The world needs us to use the measure of faith that we've been given to believe God for change in every situation. The world needs changed lives like yours, because changed lives change lives. And I'm asking you today to choose to be the difference, to be that changed life that changes lives. So Father, I thank you that you have changed me, that you are changing others, and that you are changing us further and further each day as we yield to your Spirit. And I'm choosing you to use my faith to be changed, to bring changed, to be the difference in others' lives. Amen.